Hi everyone, thanks for tuning in. Well, this month as we are doing our 30-day Miracle Morning Challenge, for those of you who are joining me, I hope that it's been as meaningful and powerful as an experience as it has been for me. So this month's wellness category is career in the circle of life. And so I couldn't think of a better way to focus on career than by doing this 30-day Miracle Morning Challenge, because it's such a great way to help you take some time and figure out what your heart's desire is. Figure out what it is that you want to do with this one beautiful life of yours. And you know, some people are perfectly happy where they're at in their career, and that's great. But the Miracle Morning is great at helping you to, you know, maybe make some important changes, or just to up your game, you know, in your career, take it to another level. And for others, it might be helping you to discover what it is you want to do. Maybe you're young and you're not sure. And then for others, you know, maybe you're thinking about going in a whole new direction, you know, a career change. So the Miracle Morning is great at helping you to, you know, figure out what it is that you want to do with your life. So yesterday I went out to visit my parents and I interviewed my mom. My mom has a very successful quilting business. She's very talented. She's very gifted. She's very creative, and she's really just, she's the best. She's the best at what she does. And everyone all of her customers will say the same. But I really want to just take this moment to say how proud I am of my mom and all that she's accomplished, and also of my dad, because, you know, he's been there to help her achieve her dreams, and it's so wonderful. I have a husband that's the same way. Just it means the world to have someone who is there to help you and support you, and to, you know, to them it's important. My dreams are important to my husband, and so I could tell in this interview that my mom's dreams were important to my dad because he was there and willing to do the work to help her accomplish her goals. So I'm really proud of both of them, and I hope you enjoy this interview. Smile. Hi, I'm Pam Fox. Thanks for being here. This is my mom, Patty. So we're here today in her quilt shop, and we're going to talk about career. So you don't know this. When I was, I don't know, maybe 13 or 14 years old, I was going through your, what do you call that cedar box upstairs?
Hope chest.
Hope chest. And I found an old notebook with notes that I think you had taken out of a book.
Really?
Yeah, I think you'd taken some notes out of a book about how to raise chickens.
Oh.
And so you'd taken all these notes on how to farm chickens. And so we grew up on a farm, and I just thought it was just for the hell of it. I didn't realize it was a business. So I just bring that up because you have an entrepreneurial spirit. Did you know that? I mean,
Wow.
do you see yourself as an entrepreneur?
I'll bet that was my grandmother's notes.
No, it was your handwriting.
Was.
I'm pretty sure.
Because my grandma really raised chickens.
Oh, okay.
On my mom's side.
Okay. Well, I bring that up because we grew up here on a farm with chickens and rabbits and other animals, and you also made purses. Mm-hmm. That was kind of that was your big business.
My first business.
Yeah, yeah. So you always loved to sew.
I always did. Since I was about 4.
Yeah. But a lot of women from your generation sew. So, like, I don't know. I know very few people who sew. Like my age.
Yeah.
It's kind of a dying thing.
It's coming back.
Yeah.
It's coming back.
I agree.
Yeah.
Darcy sews.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Did you know that?
No.
That's my son's girlfriend. She likes to sew.
Wow.
Yeah. I think her and one other person that I know that like to sew.
A lot of girls in our little town here are learning to knit.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah.
So that's very big.
Yeah, that's cool.
And some quilting.
Yeah. Well, we're here in my mom's quilt shop, and we're since we're talking about career this month, I wanted to interview her and talk about kind of where she's come from and bringing this kind of to fruition. Because you started out, I remember this used to be like a shop / woodshed. This wasn't even here. So when you first
part was a woodshed. This was outside.
This was gone. Yeah, this wasn't even here. And so tell us about, I know that when you first got started, you didn't even have, well, first of all, let me clarify. So my mom has a quilting business, and I think some people think that means you make and sell quilts. Which,
I don't.
No.
So I just quilt for other people.
Yeah, so with quilts, there's a bunch of them here. People make these quilts. They make the tops, and then she takes it and puts it on the batting and then a back, and she quilts it together.
It's like a sandwich, and it's sewn all the way through from the
This
top
one's
to the
really
bottom.
pretty. Is this a job you have coming up?
That's one of my future projects
Okay.
for myself
Oh, okay.
that I haven't finished because I'm too busy quilting for other people.
And she teaches quilting classes too, so you've got multiple streams of income coming in. Between
I used to.
Okay,
I
you don't
pretty
teach the
much
classes
just
anymore?
quilt now.
Okay.
Yeah.
So tell us how you got started with your quilt. I know you and Dad made your first quilting machine.
Actually, a friend of mine wanted to build one, and I'm just like rolling my eyes because I had no interest in machine quilting. I was a hand quilter. But she says, we can build a quilting machine.
Who was that?
Adele.
Oh, okay.
And our husbands built it, and she engineered it. And I said,
Wasn't it like an upside down sewing machine or something?
It wasn't upside down, but it was so heavy. The first one we built was so heavy. Adele said, we're going to trash this first one. And so then we went to scrap yards and we
Plan
bought
B.
all aluminum.
Okay.
The first one
because it was too heavy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
you went to a scrap yard.
scrap yard. Many.
Scrappy.
Patched it all together.
And it worked.
Well, yeah, it did.
So were you
Worked
guys
really good.
in the business together? You both used it? Oh, okay. Out here in the living room?
Well, that was the ironic thing about it. At her house, she couldn't do it. She tried. She just didn't have the coordination and the timing. And I really didn't have that much of an interest in it. But I tried it, and well, I think I can do this.
Okay.
So she was my cheerleader.
Okay. So it was originally kind of her dream. You were more,
Her
it was
dream.
kind of a quilting
Her
was a hobby.
dream. I
She
poo-pooed
wanted
it
to take
almost
it-
all the way.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So I remember when my mom first got started, she made a quilt. I must have been, well, you were pregnant with Megan, weren't you?
Mm-hmm.
So I would have been 7 years
No,
old.
I was a little bit. No,
She was a baby.
after. Yeah,
She was a baby.
little.
Okay, so I was under 10, and she made this beautiful quilt. And it was all hand stitched, right?
Right.
Yeah. And that was your first quilt. You entered it in the fair.
Oh yeah.
We all expected her to get like the grand prize because
They
she put so much work into this beautiful quilt.
They loved it, and we were so excited about it. And I got a red ribbon.
We were so disappointed.
I didn't know all the rules yet. Now I know all the rules.
Yeah.
You kind of specify your quilt according to what the judges want.
Yeah.
So I know how to do it now.
Those county fair judges. All right, so you had your quilting machine and you started your business. So was this something, once you were on board, was it something you felt a strong passion for? I mean, it's something that you wanted to do as a business, or was it still
Not
kind of a
at
hobby
first.
at that point?
Hobby.
Once you had your
My
commercial.
friend Adele was she had Crohn's disease.
Mm-hmm.
So she always said, I'll never live long enough to quilt all these quilts.
Mm.
So that's why we have to do this. Because she had a lot of quilt tops.
Oh, okay.
They
Like, what are we
needed-
talking? What's a lot?
Dozen.
So it kind of started out, you just wanted to help her quilt
Mm-hmm.
her quilts. Aw.
Yep.
That's
And-
cool.
Yeah. And I did get all her quilts quilted for her. And now she's gone.
Mm.
So, but little by little, I did develop the passion, but at first, not so much.
Yeah.
I kind of learned my lesson from the purse business that it's hard to have your own little business unless
Mm-hmm.
you just have a lot of time to devote to it, and you have to stay organized, which I wasn't and am not,
Mm-hmm.
not so much.
Yeah.
And so
But you learn in time.
I learned. I learned.
So how did this shop come about?
We ended up, we were at Adele's, and it was a lot. It was very stressful to drive over there every day and quilt at somebody else's house. You know, different things going on over there for her family, and I wasn't very happy over there. And she finally realized that she couldn't quilt, and she really wasn't that well. And so we moved everything over here.
Just build a shop.
No, we were in the living room.
You were in the living room. I remember that. For quite some time.
That
That was
wasn't-
the time I went off to college, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It wasn't a very good situation either.
Mhm.
But Terry decided I should have a shop
Mhm.
because I didn't quit quilting just because the living room was a mess.
Do you feel like once you built this shop, though, it kind of took your business
yeah.
to a new level?
It did.
Mm-hmm. And how do you promote your business? I never asked
Word
you
of
that
mouth.
before. It's all word of mouth.
I've never
Because you don't have
advertised.
like a Facebook page or a website or anything like that.
If I advertised, I'd be
You get more
sick.
business than you can handle as it is.
Yeah, I can't.
Yeah.
I can't keep up with it as it is.
Yeah. Do you want us to put your number on my page, or is
No.
it? That's what I figured.
I'm getting too old for that.
So tell us. I mean, the commercial machine is actually right behind the camera, so you can't see it. But this isn't the one that Dad made. This is
No.
a commercial quilting machine.
This is. When my mother passed away, she said, I don't have a lot to inherit to you. So, but I do have a little bit of money in my savings account, and I want you to buy something just for you.
Oh, you knew just where you were going to spend it.
And I really didn't want to buy one of those expensive quilting machines, but Terry talked me into it.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, that's enough for a down payment. You can make payments.
Aw, so Grandma Toots, she lives on in this quilt machine. That's awesome.
Yep.
So just like, don't give your rates or anything, but I'm just curious, like if someone were to bring in like a queen size quilt and they wanted you to quilt it, like what is the average like going charge for like?
For me or for somebody else?
Not for you, just the average. Like what's the?
Probably $150 to $200, depending on if it's show quality or if it's just for everyday use.
For the quilting, for the labor.
Right, the labor.
Okay. For a queen size or a king size quilt?
Queen.
Queen size. Okay.
Yeah.
And you've been doing this for how many years? The quilting part
How
of
old
it?
is Megan?
30 something?
30 years.
Oh, it's been
probably.
a long time.
Yeah.
So do you find that you've really grown and learned, gotten to the point
I'm
where?
still learning.
But I would imagine, like, if you were to do a queen size quilt today, you could probably do it a lot quicker than when you first started, just because you've gotten better at it, or?
I'm getting old.
Oh, you're slowing down.
So one end I'm slowing down.
Darn
The
it.
other. I have to have some time to think about it
Mm-hmm.
and
It's
kind
very
of
creative.
analyze what the customer would like.
Mm-hmm.
I have to think about it first, and then
Mm-hmm.
it just starts to mushroom what I'm supposed to do. But a lot of the times I just pretty much do the same thing too. I mean, sometimes I do.
Yeah.
I just,
What you love and what you're become
Yeah.
good at and kind of known for.
I'm happy with certain things, and so I'll usually keep that around. But I will reach out every once in a while and expand a little bit and try something and see how the customer liked it. And
She's the best. She's the best in the
Yeah.
business.
not the best. No.
Well, you know, they say do what you love and the money will follow, you know, that kind of mentality where if your life's work is something you're passionate about, you're excited about, it comes from within, it's something you have maybe natural ability for, that it doesn't really seem like work. And I know you work really hard, but do you find that to be true? That if you do what you love, it's more of a labor of love and less
Yeah,
of a
it's
duty?
not a job.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is where I'd rather be than in front of the boob tube.
Yeah. Well, did you ever find there was a time where that's blinking? That means that we're going to run out of time. So I'm just going to turn this off. So did you ever find that there was a time, you know, during all these years of having this business that, you know, were you ever tempted to just kind of give it all away and go back to like a 9-to-5? Because you have like administrative and secretarial experience. Did you ever think, you know, I'm just going to go?
Never did.
Yeah. But I'm sure there were challenges along the way.
There's challenges, but you know, you're your own boss, so you figure it out.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, anything else you want to add?
No, I'm just here to listen. Did you want?
She doesn't
to
know why she's here.
I didn't want to be here.
Well, let's show them a quilt. I showed this one. Do you have one that's done that we can just grab? Here. Did you do this one?
No, I didn't.
You didn't.
No, I traded that for something else.
Oh, okay.
I traded that for some quilt for a quilt top that I
Okay.
wanted to donate to somebody.
Bartering.
Yeah, bartering.
Good business
Goes
skill.
along. Goes along. I don't know. I have this little one down here. It's not done.
This one?
Yeah. I don't
Did
think
you make this?
I did.
See, I'm going to boast on my mom.
Now, I didn't do that particular square, though. That was given to me.
Okay, so this is an example of the quilt top. And this is all hand sewn, hand embroidered, hand pieced together. And so then the quilting that my mom does is the actual stitching that holds the whole quilt together.
Yeah.
And so if you see an old-fashioned quilt, you'll see the in and out and the in and out, the little stitches, or you'll see a little tuft of yarn, and that's called
Tied.
a tied quilt. So that's different. But the machine quilting then is where she actually puts this through a machine and does the quilt, all that stitching with
And
the
I
machine.
steer it. It's not computer run.
Right, right.
I steer it.
But you've got lasers, don't you?
Well,
Your old machine didn't have
but
lasers.
I pretty much don't use a laser anymore.
Okay.
I have my own little
Pretty.
design.
All the little pieces, little individual pieces.
The way I quilt is like it's a doodle,
Yeah. Yeah. Meandering.
meandering and doodling.
So this particular quilt, each square is something different. Does it kind of tell a story?
No, it's a Valentine quilt, so it's got a lot of pink and red in it.
Yeah. Very pretty. And you made this one.
Yeah. I helped a lot of, let's see, there's one down here that I did all of this one. That's got embroidery on it too.
Look at her underwear. How cute is that?
Her name is Kansas City Sue.
Yes, it is. All right,
I
Mom.
don't think I have any more quilts out here that are quilted.
Well, thank you for sharing with us today. I hope maybe this will inspire somebody to go after their dreams. That's the whole point.
Yeah.
Is to inspire people to figure out, where their passions lie and what they want to do with their one life and go for it.
Well, I think God probably led me down that path.
Yeah.
And Adele had the dream, and I finished
She gave
it
you the
up.
kick.
She did. She did.
Oh, well, thank God. Thanks, Adele. Thanks, Grandma Toots. And thank you, Mom.
Thank you.
All right. Love you.
Love you too.
All right. Thanks for watching.